Welcome to our human resource management subject. Today we are looking at foundational theories of human resource management, and the theory we want to look at today in our lesson is institutional theory. We'll see what is meant by an institution and the institutional theory and how it is useful in management. So institutional theory seeks to explain the processes and reasons for organizational behavior. And this organizational behavior looks at the individuals in organizations, the groups in organizations, the teams in organizations, as well as the effect of organizational behavior patterns within a broader inter-organizational context. So what this presupposes is that organizations do not exist alone. Organizations will exist and there will be interactions within the organization, and that organization will be also interacting with its environment. So this institutional theory attempts to explain how an institution survives or positions itself to survive within in terms of its activities and in the broader interorganizational context for purposes of survival. Institutions are defined as conventional. Institutions are defined as conventional, standardized patterns of behavior found within and across organizations, and giving them meaning to social change and order. So the way this term suggests, institutions are conventional, they are standardized, they have some norms, they have practices that they follow, they have some patterns of behavior in terms of how individuals within the institutions should behave and how the organizations themselves should behave in relation to their environment. Institutional theory was introduced in late 1970s by John Mayer and Brian Rowan as a means to explore further how organizations fit with, are related to, and were shaped by their societal, that is society, state, national, and global environments. So this theory is very useful in the area of management and in the area of institutions, because if you look at the societal level, that is the regional. If you look at the state level, that is the relationship with government. If you look at national, that is within the borders of a given country, and now the global environment, because nowadays organizations are operating in a global village. So it is critical for any manager or any organization that intends to coexist peacefully and in a mutual way to be able to understand institutional theory so that it can underpin some of the decisions that are being made within those particular organizations. So we want to look at institutional isomorphism. Institutional isomorphism. Now, this term, institutional isomorphism, is a situation where an organization makes their actions in such a way that they can be able to conform and operate within the expectations of their institutional environment. So this is a situation. Where organizations operate and take actions that make them operate within the expectations of their environments. So what we mean here, learner, is that if you have a company or you have an entity that is operating, for example, within a particular society, governed by a particular state, within a particular country, and operating as a global citizen, as a company, then that company must operate in such a way that if, for instance, they emit effluents in relation to pollution, they must operate within the thresholds that are provided by the regulatory bodies. For example, in Kenya, you have NEMA, for instance, and other bodies that regulate how organizations operate. So in that kind of a situation, that organization should be able to operate within the state, within the national settings, within the society, and the expectations of the global environment, especially at a time when we have issues like global warming that are basically disturbing and distracting order and so on. So when it comes to issues of institutional isomorphism, then organizations will try to operate in a situation where they are able to achieve that particular target. So that is institutional